You're tuned in to the DMV Hoops Podcast.
This is John Inscriptor, head girls basketball coach at St. John's College High School, and this is the DMV Hoops Podcast.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast, the DMV's home for high school basketball. Hosted by Kurt Cross and featuring Chelsie Cross. We bring you the latest news, interviews, rankings, recruiting buzz, and standout performances from the public and private school basketball scene across Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Stream us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Buzzsprout, YouTube, and everywhere podcasts are heard. Now, let's get into it. Here's your host, Kurt Cross.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast. I'm Kurt Cross. As always, I'm here at the Capitol Hoops Summer League in DeMatha with my sidekick. She is
Chelsie Cross.
And we are here in week 3. We're watching Jackson Reed versus Bullis in a public versus private school. Right? I am, right?
Yeah.
Right? Oh,
no. Sorry, I thought he was going to make it. That's all.
Oh, you thought he was going to make the shot?
Sorry, that's all.
We get the public-private school thing going on right here. We have a gentleman on our podcast who is no stranger to the podcast, but he is a first-time guest. Coach Manny is on the podcast from Clinton Grace. What's up, Coach?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely. Now, there's so many things I want to talk to you about. Number one, I make it no secret that Clinton Grace is my favorite team to watch.
That's why I love you, brother.
I will say it publicly because you guys are so athletic. Although, were you here for the first game?
No, I was not.
Wow. DeMatha's running on all cylinders right now.
Yeah.
They're running on
I've been
all
watching.
cylinders right now. But the last time you and I shared space on the court, we were giving out championship stuff and gear to your team.
Yes, sir.
Didn't know much about your team before last summer. I knew about Grace Brethren, but turned Clinton Grace and didn't know much about you guys. And after 1 or 2 games, I knew I was watching a very athletic team. Obviously, the Lyons brothers were 2 guys in that backcourt I love watching. Congratulations to CJ. He'll be at ODU, right?
Yes, sir. Congratulations to CJ. Just graduated, man.
I saw that, didn't I? Did I see it online?
Yes.
Okay, yes. And then we have Lonnie, of course, who everyone's looking at Lonnie.
Yes,
everyone's
sir.
looking at Lonnie.
Rightfully so.
Talk to me about Lonnie's jump from junior to senior year.
It's an honor and a pleasure to be a part of, to watch, and to be involved in. We always knew, let me not say always, we were definitely looking forward to this time because we knew it was going to be a pivotal time for him. Not just with his skill set and his national base growing, but really with his older brother matriculating and moving on. You know, Lonnie's a big personality, but he was still the little brother. And if you pay attention to any of Lonnie's interviews, he always gives reverence to CJ. And he was just like that in real life as well, in practice and all of those things. So now he's getting the opportunity to really step into his own as a leader. And that's a beautiful thing to be able to experience and be a part of with him on that journey.
You know, something you should know that her and I witnessed. We interviewed Coach Dev at the private school tournament.
Yes.
Dev was tired because he said the kids had gotten up early. And hopefully whoever was watching them got them some food or something. Or something said. But here's what he said. He said that he knows he can close his eyes or turn his back and you can do just as well as he can do. He has all that faith and trust in you, which a lot of coaches say a lot of things, but I felt that when he said that he knows in you, he ain't got nothing to worry about. If you're standing there or if he's standing there, he knows that this team is led properly. And I think you should know that. You probably feel that from him too, but it's real.
I appreciate
He's not
that.
just telling you.
No, for sure.
It's real.
For sure.
Clinton Grace doesn't rebuild. It seems like they reload. You're always athletic. And one thing I truly like, and I don't want to call you out, but your Instagram is raw. It is real. The clips I see on Instagram, there's no filter, there's no censorship, there's no nothing. You are real with it. You are hard on these young men.
Yes, I am.
Tell me how you balance that to build them into wholehearted young men. You're hard on them on one side, but do you also put your arms around them when you need to?
Absolutely. Honestly, it's just an ode to my AAU coach, Johnny Williams, back in Boston, Massachusetts, 2-time state champion with Tech Boston Academy. That's who he was with us, and he was young as a coach. When I started playing for him, I was 15 years old. I believe he was about 24, 25.
Wow, okay.
Old school guy, very, very hard on us, but he loved us, and he showed it in so many ways. He took time. He had a newborn child, and he took so much time away from his child and his family to pour into us. So that was something I was always aware of, and as I matriculated and I got older, he stayed very active in my life. Was just at my wedding this past last summer.
Wait a minute. Did my invite get lost? It must have got lost.
It must have. It must have.
Damn mail system, right?
I'm definitely going to, yeah, I'm taking it up with them in the morning. My apologies. But, yeah, so I never I never wanted to coach. I never thought about coaching. I kind of got into the trade kind of by accident. But once I got in it, I could feel that, oh, this might be where God wants me. This might be what I'm supposed to be doing. And I never really had to think too much about it. I just went with the same standards that I was raised under, and I try to give the same love that I was given. And every year, I've recognized that I have to listen a little bit more, because the more I know, the more I don't know. You know what I mean? And so I just try to lead with that, yeah.
Okay.
Now tell me, why Clinton Grace? For A, you're coaching personally, but B, why does someone want to watch Clinton Grace? Why do you have this team? Why Clinton Grace for so many different people?
That is an amazing question. For me, I was introduced to Coach Dev by a man named Kingston Price, who's a colleague of mine with New World Basketball, my AAU organization. And we built.
You were connected to New World?
Yes, sir.
So you were Vito and all that?
No, well, New World. That's a subgroup of New World.
Okay.
The original New World Basketball by Taj Hawkins. That's who I coach for. And he introduced me and Devin going on 6 years ago. We built a very organic relationship off the break, and we started off just building as men and getting to understand each other as men.
Right.
And as brothers, we saw that our philosophies as men aligned. And then when we started talking basketball, we learned that our philosophies, basketball-wise, aligned too. And he was in a very similar situation that I was in, coaching-wise. We had very similar coaching histories. And so I decided, all right, if I'm going to build something, this is the type of person I want to build it with. And really the rest is history. And then to answer the second part of your question, why Clinton Grace? If you like basketball, man, and you like the things that basketball peers that we find sacred about basketball, mentorship, development. I learned how to be a man through this game. That's what we try to teach. We try to teach manhood through this game. We mentor through this game. We try to show our young men, even though the world tells them oftentimes that, specifically young black men don't work together, can't get along. We try to model that for them every day. Not just the fact that it can happen, but it is happening. Pay attention, learn from it, glean from it. And nobody's going to give you anything. So you have to go out there and you've got to work and you've got to take it. You've got to earn it every single day.
So important, because as much as we want them to pursue their dreams and to reach the highest level that basketball can offer them, one of two things happens. Well, one of three things. You either make it, or one day the ball stops bouncing.
Absolutely.
Or three, you don't make it. And you've got to build, so I coached for years ago, women's high school and college basketball. And one thing I told them is, if you make it into the WNBA, this is when the WNBA was first started, how many years do you think you'll play?
Right.
4, 5, 6, 7? So am I supposed to prepare you for the next 4 or 5 years, or the next 40 or 50 years?
Right.
And I need you to understand what you do. Like, your duty goes beyond the 84 by 50, right?
Absolutely.
Like, you got to be dad, you got to be mentor,
Absolutely.
you got to be coach.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you got to walk a thin line, you got to be friend, right? How many kids have you taken to Chick-fil-A after a game or after a practice, right?
Countless.
You got to be that guy.
Absolutely.
Some kids have everything at home. Some kids have nothing at home, right? word on the street is the Lyons family got everything. They deep. They deep, right? They support the program.
You ain't get that from me.
But I'm saying
Lyons family, wherever they heard it, they hear it from me.
No, I'm just saying, as far as the Lyons family, they support Clinton Grace.
Yes.
Like mom is the head of the PTSA, so,
yes.
right? They're always about it. So that family necessarily, they have support, but some of your kids don't have support.
Right.
Some of the kids along the way, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. So we appreciate you being that person. What has this game, how beautiful is this game to you? Outside of bouncing the ball, how beautiful is this game to you?
I can't accurately put it into the words. The game is everything to me. The game is my first pure love outside of family. You know, I remember being a kid and my brother saying like, man, I can't do nothing with you if we had planned out a mission and somebody dribbles a basketball in the middle of it, you're gonna throw the whole mission away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you will.
He's right. Like, as an adult, I've told people this all the time. I could be homeless. If I see a kid on the court working on his game and there's something that I could teach him, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna teach it to him. Like, that's just, the game's forever gonna be a part of me. It's in my blood and I can't get it out if I tried.
We were 1,000 miles from home in the Bahamas somewhere. We rented a golf cart. We're driving, and there's a basketball court.
Absolutely.
We stopped, my son got out, and he hooped. Because that's the thing about basketball. They didn't know him, he didn't know them. But he made it. He made 6. So that's 3 on 3. We got us a game.
Let's do it.
We got us a game.
Yes, sir.
Chelsie, what do you want to ask Coach K?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious, what are your personal aspirations for Summer League? You guys have something to follow up, but what improvements are you hoping to see within these players?
That's a great question. So, of course, you know, as defending champs, yes, we want to defend our title. But I'd be lying if I said that was most important. There is a lot of newness on our team, and it's not just in the terms of new players, but even the players that we've already had stepping into very new roles. And development takes time. It's not an overnight thing. Even though people look at stuff and everybody wants popcorn success, these things take time. So I really want growth and development. We're improving our style of play. I tell the guys all the time, every day we need to make new mistakes. If we're making, nothing's wrong with making mistakes, but we need to make new ones. If we're making new mistakes, then I know we're making progress. Okay. But if I'm having the same conversation after 2 or 3 games in a row, we've got a problem. So that's really what I want to see. I just want to see all of our guys take a really important, it doesn't have to be a giant leap, but it has to be a significant step forward in their own personal journey in the game. And if they do that, there's no way the program doesn't benefit from it.
So, you know what, Chelsie, we haven't asked the coach this. We always ask players this. We ask the players, every offseason, you should work on something to bring another element to your game. Well, why don't we hold coaches accountable?
Absolutely.
So what do you want to bring to your coaching game different than you've done before?
So again, y'all are on fire today. So a couple of things. For me personally, one specific area that I definitely wanted to grow in is acquiring sponsorship and partnership with our local businesses. There's a lot of businesses that we patronize in our area in Clinton. We represent the community well, but I feel like that's an area that we could be doing a lot better in, and that I've even told Dev that that's an area that I take personal responsibility. So that's one area that I'm trying to improve. Another area in which I'm trying to improve is maximizing the written and visual data that we have on our guys. So, you know, there's common stuff, your height, your weight, how much you can lift, how fast you run, all the things that they measure at the combine. But we do a lot of team building activities. We go on team retreats. We try to take events, try to really take a lot of time away from the game to get to know each other personally. And we've been doing that for years. One thing that we just implemented this year is actually having them write a lot more. So we give them questions and we have them write and we store that data. And we go back and we look at that data to try to use that as a way to drive and fuel enhanced performance. What can we be doing better as a staff based on the words of our players? Because you ask them sometimes, but everybody's not always comfortable sharing their voice in a team meeting or even in a one-on-one. And sometimes they might not remember the things that they actually personally feel, but if you give a guy a questionnaire and you let him take it home and sit with it, you'll be surprised with what they might put down on paper, from the first guy in the rotation down to the youngest or the last guy in the rotation. And all of that stuff matters. It's very important. And so the first time we did it, we were surprised with a lot of the feedback that we got. And so now we're trying to figure out how can we take that a step further to get more feedback from the players, but then also how can we turn that around on each other? How can we quiz each other as coaches and figure out where we're lacking at, what areas that we need to improve, and the improvements that not just that we want to see from each other, but that our guys want to see from us. And that's something that, it's very easy to take that type of stuff for granted. So those are two major areas that we've been trying to improve in.
I believe in fate. I believe in destiny. I believe that if you walk out there right now and you bump into someone you haven't seen in 20 years, that if you believe in God, whatever people believe in, that God made you stop here to do this interview.
Absolutely.
To give you time.
Absolutely.
So that person can show up outside.
Absolutely.
You have not been on this podcast before, have you?
No, sir.
You're on this podcast now, right?
Yes, sir.
One of your off-season goals is to have the kids right, but to take responsibility for sponsorships and developing those things in the community, right?
Yes, sir.
Basketball is my first love outside of family. I've owned a company for 40 years. Maybe you're on this podcast so that you and I can connect on some sponsorship level.
Talk to me. Preach it now. Let's go.
Right? So I got two banners up there. We sponsoring two. Which ones are they, Chelsie? The one right above my head, Dynamic.
Dynamic, okay.
And what's next to it? The podcast is next to it?
No.
Unison.
Two down. I think it's two down?
Yes.
To the podcast?
Yes.
So I got banners up here, so that means I'm willing to sponsor
Look
basketball.
what God did. Look what God did.
So I'm just letting you know. And if you couple that up with, I promised Dev I would come see a game last year, and I didn't. Maybe I wasn't supposed to go last year. Maybe I wasn't supposed to be there last year.
Talk to me.
So let's see what we can do. So I own a DJ service. I've been doing that for 40 years. I own the podcast, and I own a photo booth company. What can we do to get our photo booths out there for your team, maybe for a media day?
Absolutely.
Maybe we can.
That was my first
start to have that conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, we can definitely
Let's have that conversation.
Yes, sir.
We went over on our time, but I don't care because I own the podcast too. So we can do that. It's my airtime.
Pop it, champ.
It's my airtime. Look, here's one thing I want to tell you. I know things change from season to season.
Yes, sir.
And your team last year is not your team this year. Your team next year is not the team this year.
Yes, sir.
However, the gift bags that we're giving away for the champions this year are better than they were last year. I cannot talk about what's in those gift bags, but right now in my Amazon cart, my wife has put 25 somethings in there, and I'm telling you, your players are going to want it. So I need y'all to try to get there on July 3rd.
We got to go get a bag, yeah. We got to go get a bag then.
It won't be Nike or Under Armour because we ran into problems last year. It was an Under Armour bag, and if DeMatha had won, they're a Nike school, so we're going to be neutral.
Gotcha.
We're going to be neutral on that. Chelsie, what final question do you have for Coach K?
Ooh, that's a lot of information that was just spread. I love it all. I mean, let me think. What could I ask? I mean, I guess let's talk about the game a little bit,
yeah, let's
right?
do it.
You guys won by 1 point.
We're giving these away.
Okay, yeah,
So
we definitely need them.
That's going to be in
For
every.
sure.
So I'm buying 25 of these, and I'm giving them to the champs.
We appreciate you.
I don't want to
brother.
say it on the air.
We appreciate you, brother. Thank God for you.
All right, talk about stats. Chelsie, what you got?
You guys won by 1 point.
Yep.
Y'all didn't make it easy.
Not at all.
Y'all didn't make it
Not
easy.
at all.
And
Hold on 1 second, Chelsie. I think they put a little bit too much time on that clock at the end. The scorekeeper stopped it at 0.8.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw them have possession and they called timeout, I saw 1.3 is what I saw. I didn't see 3 point something.
I told the ref we turned the ball over with 2 seconds to go. So there's no way it can be more than
They
that.
can't
But
call
hey,
timeout when you got the ball, right?
you know what I mean? But hey, you know, it is what it is, and we made it work.
Right.
so you guys won by 1 point.
Yep.
And on the outside, that can look like this was a competitive game. And I'm not saying it was not, but what I am saying is what's more important to me is you guys did it without Lonnie.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say about the strength of this team? And honestly, what does that say about your coaching? Brag on yourself a little bit.
He's no fool. He's no fool.
At all.
He took the hard route on purpose.
For sure. And, you know, I also knew that Gonzaga was doing the same thing. They sat a lot of their guys.
Jaleel didn't play.
Yeah.
Chufang, yeah.
I definitely, you know, want to make sure I make mention of that. But, you know, I appreciate the opportunity to brag on myself. To me, it's not a brag if it's facts. You know what I mean? I work extremely hard. I put a lot of time into this game over my career, over my life. So yeah, I'm never gonna be afraid to say what I know is true about me. I put myself up against anybody in the country, really anybody in the world. I just haven't had the opportunity to coach outside of the country yet. That'll be on the bucket list. But yeah, I just think that it's a testament to how we prepare our guys and the fact that they're willing to buy in. Them being willing to buy in is what allows them to be ready to go and compete in any situation. And we always let them know competing is the floor. You don't get a trophy for competing. That is the floor. That's basic. There's a lot more that comes with it beyond that, and that's just the way that it's always going to be as long as we're the staff at Clinton Grace.
You know, we get to watch, first of all, we watch the best game in the world, and we got the best talent in the DMV.
Absolutely.
You know, I talk to people all over the place, and they're like, no, basketball's the same wherever you go. The hell it is.
That is not true.
The hell it
not
is.
true at all.
Not true at all. The bump here, you can go to Richmond. It's good down in Richmond, but you can go to, I mean,
it's the best in the country.
You can go to Des Moines, Iowa. They ain't balling like they balling here. And there's a reason why Kent Island over the Bay Bridge is coming to this summer league. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? It's a reason why there's going to be 100, 150 coaches here in a couple of weeks, right? All right. But I say is we got games in front of us. This young man right here, his game has gotten better. Yeah. Amir Brutely, his game has gotten a lot better. Let's get him on the podcast. But this is not his podcast, it's yours. Coach, we appreciate what you do.
I appreciate you.
When we turn these mics off, we need to talk.
Yes, sir.
Because I like to get out there. And a lot of your games are in Palmer Park, right?
At Clinton Grace. A lot of we're going to play in every major event that's going to be in the DMV area.
I guess what I was trying to come to was at Palmer Park last year. I don't know who you played.
Yeah, I got it.
Right, but we're going to talk off air. He's Coach K. You can also call him Manny. He's with Clinton Grace. Coach Dev puts full faith and trust in this young man to the point where he tells me, this is my guy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the DMV Hoops Podcast. I'm Kirk Cross.
I'm Chelsie Cross.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the DMV Hoops Podcast, your home for high school basketball coverage across the DMV. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and share the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube, Buzzsprout, and everywhere podcasts are heard. Follow us on Instagram and X at DMV Hoops Podcast. The DMV Hoops Podcast is hosted by Kirk Cross, featuring Chelsie Cross. Thanks for listening.